strategies that inspire trust and confidence both within your team and your clients. So I'm going to talk about 10 things here, some 10 tips. So number 1, communication. You want clear messaging. I call this communication mastery, which is clear messaging. You will develop the ability to articulate the value of your services and also be compelling with it as well, because you're offering a wonderful service. And if you can find what the need is, what is lacking, that is the thing that will be the one that you want to go for. Providing it's in alignment with you, something is going to take away a lot of your time, then you need to obviously think about that. But just to look at what this is. So this includes understanding the needs of your audience, speaking to their needs. So if you was to go to a community center, for example, and then you're speaking to the visitors at the daycare center, for example, or community center, and that you're talking directly, asking them what their needs are, what do they think is lacking, what's missing, then they will come forth. Active listening. H, your listening skills to truly understand your client's needs, concerns, objections, allowing for those more tailored solutions. So then you create a package around what you've heard, what the need is. You've got that evidence base there. You can even go to the council with it after you've gathered that data and that information, because sometimes they're not even aware of what that need is. Number 2 is you want to build relationship, trust building, I call it. Focus on creating genuine connections with your clients or potential clients. Trust is the cornerstone of long-term business relationships, especially in the care industry. Networking, expand your network through going to these events which are dementia care, or it could be the integrated care boards or a government event that's going on that is for the community where you are going to serve. Social media is a good one as well. If you was to open up a Facebook group, and then you would the videos, you'll be able to access the videos in the page. They're live in the page, so don't worry about that. What I want you to think about when you're doing social media, okay, you're going to see lots of people going, oh yeah, I can do healthcare marketing. They can't, because there's a different way of doing healthcare marketing. Okay, but I'm going to talk to you about some of the ways you can do that today. Is by, you can open up a Facebook group. You'll need to open up a Facebook group, and then this Facebook group is going to be for a specific type of client that you want to attract. Now, either it's the client itself or their carers, their family members, for example. Okay? And although this may seem complicated, with watching this video, you may need to watch it a few more times to understand what I'm saying, but we also have boot camps and master classes as well that will get you through the complicated feeling that you may have, because this is completely new that you're possibly listening to as well. Okay, so social media is so amazing, and you know what, your community is the most amazing of all. You go to your community and you talk to your community, like the community centers, the charity shops. You talk to all of those groups, those organizations where your clients go to, social services, recovery teams, community teams, initiatives, charities. The list is endless. Your community has so much to offer, but yet we're not going to the community. We're not asking them what they want. Why is that? We're going above their heads and going to social services, for example, or you may go to the integrated care boards, for example, in your locality, or another organization, but why don't you speak directly with your community? Why do we not do that anymore? We used to. Remember those meetings that used to go on in your community? Do you remember those meetings? But yet we don't go to them. So the broader your network, the greater your reach. And you will see, you meet the people that need care, or the relatives of those that need the care, they're going to be more stronger than social services, for example. They're going to want to use your services because you come to meet them and they can see you and they get to know you. So level 2 is strategic selling. It's a solution-based selling where you position your services as a solution to a specific faced by your clients, a problem that they're facing. So this approach is particularly effective in securing government contracts, high value private clients. So clearly define and communicate the unique value that your service offers. Focus on building the most that matters to your clients. Isn't that the most important thing, is speaking with your community? Because they're going to know more of what they want. The next one is look at high margin sales strategies. Pricing strategy. Develop a pricing strategy that reflects the value of your services, allowing you to maintain higher margin. Negotiation skills is important in this. So you'll need to learn some enhanced negotiation skills to secure contracts that are profitable, sustainable, and long-term success for your business. That is so important because, like I said, we're not looking at that level. We're not looking at the higher margin sales strategy. We're looking at the lower value. And I've been there. I did it. Worn the t-shirt with that one. But I'm saying to you to do what the 2% of people are doing, and that is by looking at the higher value. It will give you more time, more freedom. Your staff members or contractors, for example, they'll be happy because they're getting a higher pay. The client is happy, they're getting a higher value of care. Not to say that the lower value contracts is lower care, I'm not saying that, because the care is certainly at the same level as what the higher value contracts are. It's just how it is because it's government, for example. But you need to think about yourselves. It's 2024. Why should you not think in that way? Why should you not? Yes, you have some lower value contracts, but you also have higher value contracts. And you have more of that in order for you to be sustainable and profitable and to reach those, above 4 million figures. You have to look at that aspect. So some implementation tips. So you want to do continuous improvement. That means regular reviews and adjust your sales strategy based on your feedback and changing market conditions. Since COVID happened, we lost people. People were sick, and it's still here. Okay, we realize how life is short, so we want to communicate more. We want to hear more. We want to be with our families more. So we need to look at how we can do something that's still going to enable us to have work-life balance. That's important. But also you'll need to look at technology as well. Yes, of course you can have the recording. You can. So I really want you to think about your implementation. And I hope that you're writing things down and really start to think about your methodology. Who is your client? Who are they? What's their name? How old are they? Where do they live? What is the problem that they have that you can solve for them? So care business owners, You need to look at adopting this multiple approach to sales. But you need to also have a strong mindset that is effective, that you can communicate, relationship building. Strategic selling is key in this method, okay? To get to the high margin sales strategy, you've got to combine those. So you can position yourself for success by securing valuable private clients, lucrative government contracts, and I'm going to say it again, lucrative government contracts. Key is to view sales not just as a transaction, but as an holistic process that involves understanding the needs, building trust, and delivering unmatched value. Because when you're getting a higher margin, the additional service that you can give to someone is just out of this world, because you've got that time, getting paid a higher fee, so you're not rushing around getting from one place to the next. You can take your time, give the quality with that client. You need to effectively apply the 2% method blueprint, which is what I train, because I think it's so important that we start looking at this 2%. And where did I get this 2% from? I'll explain this to you. My twin brother has passed away now. He passed away August 2023 last year. And when I was in the hospital with him and his wife, who is a financial director for multiple hospitals in America, very high up, I was talking to, well, we were talking about when I had my agency and how I was doing thousands and thousands of hours a week, and I was able to create a multiple 7-figure business from that with just home care alone, for example. However, I had contracts with the councils and the government organizations, and their rates wasn't as favorable as a private client, for example. And because I had these contracts, it didn't leave me much room to expand and grow and take on more of the private clients. I had to take on the contract clients because I was contracted. So I was tied, I was bound. So if they would ring me and say, okay, we need you to cover a client tonight. The package starts tonight, it's emergency, which is fine. I did it, but it didn't leave me room to expand and have that growth for the higher margin. And yet the 2% of the clients that I was serving who were private was paying exactly or just a bit more than the council ones. So isn't it better to do the 2% method rather than the 98% method, because you're getting the lower value contracts? And yes, it's good. It's good for bread and butter money, for example, and we're here to help the community, for example. I'm not saying that. But we've also got to look after ourselves as well as care providers, because we're human as well. We're not robots, we're human beings. People get burnt out. It affects their mental health, for example. So I want to show people in 2024 that there's a better way to run a healthcare business where you're serving the community, but you're also monitoring what your margin levels are, because you can still serve the community by doing free training, for example, or free you know, coffee mornings or something like that. You know, that's serving the community, right? But when you're doing the 98% of your contracts are governmental,